she ain't gonna respect you. She just gonna be ready to run all over you. But if you came in veins ice cold, all right, told her what it is, she gonna be like, well, at least he told me what it is. They actually like that. Women hate simps, Bruno, right? But what do? They use simps. That you're useful, as they call it, useful idiots. Why do you think the whole bad boy thing and the nice guys finish last? In their DNA is called the respect gene. And the respect is normally either out of fear or fear of loss. It's either out of fear of the man or fear of losing that man. That's why it's there.
So the thing is I feel like men underestimate how irresistible they are when they actually have the ability and intelligence to move on with their lives. Like, when a woman realizes that she's not that special to you, she's not that important to you, that's when she starts to think about how important and special you are to her. Think about it. With the type of women that you date, with some women, when you care about them, they don't care about you. They care.
Something interesting is happening in the modern dating world, and it's not exactly subtle anymore. For years, the assumption was that men would always keep chasing. No matter how complicated dating became, no matter how high the expectations got, men were expected to keep lining up, competing, and trying to prove themselves. But lately that script seems to be breaking.
Boy, you guys just refuse to listen to reason, don't you? First of all, no, women have not always been the pickers. It is a fairly recent development. Historically, women were treated as little better than cattle, literally traded, sometimes for cattle, from one farmer to the other. Sometimes it was politically motivated, sometimes it had to do with aligning families, but very rarely did it have to do with the actual hopes, dreams, wants, desires, feelings of the women involved. Fathers and brothers traded their daughters and sisters back and forth to other men to gain political power or to expand the boundaries of their farms. So no, I wouldn't say that women were always the pickers. And even in more recent history, when yes, we might have had the illusion of being the pickers, but there were so many underlying factors that went into that choice that we really weren't operating in free will. If a woman is not able to make her own living, she's not really free to make her own decisions, is she? She's bound by need. She's bound by societal pressures, family pressures. If the eldest daughter doesn't choose wisely and well for the family, then the entire family can be plunged into poverty. So yes, while she's picking, technically, she's under so much pressure that she's not really making a free choice. And now that women are actually free to pick, we're not picking tall men. We're literally just picking nice men. I don't know why you guys keep lying to each other about what women's criteria are. Most of us don't care about how tall you are. Hell, often being attractive isn't even in our top 5 criteria for choosing a partner. We literally just want someone who's gonna be nice to us. Guys, stop lying to yourselves and each other and just do better. Most of this stuff is well within your control. You just don't want to do the work.
Instead of arguing about the rules of the game, a growing number of men have simply decided to stop playing altogether. No dramatic speeches, no big protests, just quiet disengagement. They're focusing on their work, their health, their finances, and building lives that don't revolve around chasing approval. And the surprising part? A lot of them seem perfectly fine with it.
I don't know, because time and time again, men have been told not to approach us, let alone talk to us. And they better not assume that we can't do something for ourselves. And if they do make the mistake of assuming and actually try to help us or do something for us, they run the risk of being labeled a creep. A label that all men literally dread. That's why he's not giving his seat up. But I'll tell you what's amazing about these men is that even with the hate that they often receive from feminists, they would give their seat up in a heartbeat to a woman that asked him kindly. Not the woman that expects it but doesn't say anything and then posts it online as some sort of proof that men are crap. No, the woman that he gives his seat up to will actually appreciate it and thank him. And trust me, men can tell the difference between these types of women. Guys, tell me if I'm wrong, but also tell me if I'm right on this.
Do you think society would be better without men?
I don't think society would be better without men or women. Like, there need to be both. And
well,
also,
for
to answer your point, for a society, in a world, hypothetically, if men did not exist, a world could still flourish with just women. I'm not, like, it can, if just men, a world could flourish. Just women, a world could flourish. But with both, there needs to be some kind of level ground where both can flourish at the same time without pushing down another.
What would happen if all men disappeared instantly, or all women disappeared instantly? If all women were to disappear, it would suck. That'd be terrible. It would be the end of the species. But when it comes to the survival, because men are involved in critical infrastructure, the world would continue. But if you were to remove all men from the world instantly, it would be catastrophic. And I think a majority of women would be dead within 3 weeks.
That's where things start getting awkward. Because the system relied on men constantly participating. The entire dating culture assumed men would always be the ones initiating, competing, and investing their time and energy. But when men begin stepping away in large numbers, the whole dynamic suddenly looks very different.
People underestimate just how bad women can be, and it's rooted in misogyny. Women can be just as bad, if not worse, than men, and for some reason people think that we can't. Why do you think when kidnappers are looking for girls, they usually have an older woman with them or a younger girl to try and lure this one in, because they're more likely to trust you because you're also a woman? They are so more common than you think. So many times in colleges or just in general, girls will set up their friends to be sexually assaulted and raped. What benefit do they get out of that? They literally just enjoy it and think that you deserve it, and it just, like, they love it for some reason. They like seeing you get hurt. They don't care about you. No matter the amount of feminism and just moving forward we do, we will never get rid of misogyny. That is just the truth, and you need to stop underestimating women. Do not trust random women because they are just as bad. Women are just usually smarter and have more self-control than most male criminals. Don't put yourself in that position. Do not trust strangers at all. Please be safe.
You wanna know how to be hot? You wanna know how to be attractive as a man? Speak the fuck up instead of being a weakling just like they programmed you to stay silent. The real men are speaking up and exposing the truth and making a stand for the children and for the women and for everyone that has been fucked with in this whole situation and in this whole world. But no, most men are staying small because guess what? They have given in to their temptations of lust and everything else, all the distractions, and their testosterone has been lowered. So it's like, I can't say it's your fault, but why are some strong ones rising out of it, okay? It's possible to fucking rise out of it. So if you are not a strong man, I have no interest in you and I never fucking will. And that's the problem, is that as a divine feminine rising, men, most masculines cannot meet me where I'm at. Like, the weaklings run away. Like little fucking pussy ass bitches. Have fun with that.
Now you're starting to hear a different tone in the conversation. Instead of endless confidence about the system working perfectly, there's more confusion, more frustration. More questions about why men don't approach like they used to, why so many prefer staying single, and why some seem completely uninterested in jumping back into the dating pool.
Powerful is the man who can walk away from a woman who disrespects him, no matter how much he loves her. Now look, here's the simple reality of the situation. If your girl is disrespecting you, and I mean truly disrespecting you, don't be fucking petty. Don't reach to try and say, oh, she's not treating me right. No, wait for genuine disrespect. Hopefully it never comes, but remember, it's got to be genuine disrespect. If she does that, you need to lay down the law or walk away if she doesn't want to comply. And this is not coming as somebody who wants to dominate. This is just coming from somebody who has some fucking self-respect. If you're a man, would you let another fucking man talk to you like that? If you're a man, would you let somebody fucking push you around, shove you around like that? No, you fucking wouldn't. Like, you can't allow yourself to just get walked over your whole fucking life. And this applies to women as well. If she is genuinely disrespecting you in a way that you feel she has crossed the line, you need to make that known. And if she does not stop that behavior, you need to walk away. Because this comes back to my one video I did where basically I said, if they did it once, they will do it again. Go check that out. It's like maybe 3 rows down. This is going to be the case with your girl. If she disrespects you once and you don't say anything, or you say something and she does it again, you don't say something then, she's going to keep fucking doing it. Doesn't matter how good of a girl she might be. People just like to get away with shit. That's what we do. If we're given an inch, we're going to take another fucking inch, and eventually we're going to run a mile. Then we're going to run a fucking marathon. So walk away. This is the only way you can make things better. And it's really the only way you might ever get her to respect you. Because let's face it, the last thing you want to do is end up in a sexless marriage where all you're doing is getting yelled at and bitched at all the fucking time. There's plenty of guys in America that are dealing with that today. Don't be another one of them.
Men are trapped by this one thing, and most of you will stay there forever. You fear losing her. Modern men tolerate disrespect, her bad attitude, and public humiliation rituals, all because they're afraid another woman won't show up. That's why she stops respecting you. She says she wants monogamy, but what she actually wants is the man other women want to be with, and he chooses her instead. The man who can walk away controls the relationship. The man who can't is already single. He just hasn't been informed by her new boyfriend yet.
For a lot of men, the answer is simple. They discovered that peace, stability, and personal freedom can be surprisingly satisfying.
I think the problem is that men like me are creating a social stigma against other men hooking up with fat chicks. You don't think that it's because they're chicks and they're not just not attracted to them?
You're unattracted to them, and you're making your friends feel shame and guilt for what they're attracted to.
Don't make them feel shame and guilt.
You know, as women, I think we overestimate how much power men have over their friends. Because let's be real, the amount of power our girlfriends have over us is astronomical. And that's not always a good thing. Women influence each other all the time. To buy stuff, to cut their hair, to date someone, to break up with someone, even to sleep with someone. And I've seen that happen. To be fair, I think deep down those women always wanted to do those things. Their friends just gave them the little extra push, you know? But men, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they operate like that. Ever notice how a group of guy friends can all be completely different? Different styles, different hobbies, different worldviews, and still be close? Now compare that to a group of women. Same aesthetic, same music taste, same mindset. We just move more in sync. So maybe, just maybe, we should stop holding men to the same standards we hold each other to? Because clearly we're built a little different. And honestly, that's okay. So let's stop pretending like it's not.
When you remove the constant pressure to impress, compete, and navigate complicated expectations, life becomes a lot quieter, and for many men, that quiet feels pretty good.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Yeah, no, you walk in.
Unpopular opinion, but being a man in today's world might actually be one of the hardest jobs on the planet. And here's why. So check this out. Women say they want sensitivity, but not too much sensitivity. Share your emotions, but don't you dare share too many or suddenly you are weak. They say be a good leader, but in the same breath, I'm not following you anywhere because I'm Miss Independent. How does that even work? They want strength with just the right amount of vulnerability, honesty, but not so honest that it points out their flaws, because then you are the bad guy. They expect you to read their damn mind, but if you assume what they're thinking, you're wrong. Be financially stable, but also have endless free time to give all your attention to me, because doesn't financial stability take time to build? When you hear these requests out loud, you realize how much they contradict each other. Sounds confusing, right? But imagine being the man who's expected to figure all of this out. So here's the question. Do men really have it easier? Or are we just not being honest about how impossible these expectations really are? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I know this one is going to spark a debate.
So instead of trying to win a game that often feels exhausting, more men are just choosing something different. They're investing in themselves, their goals, and a lifestyle that doesn't revolve around proving their value to anyone.
The moment she pulls away, what do? Go get her, text her, call her, show her that you care, right? All of those things. Wrong. You do not do that. Ever. Now let me explain. When a woman starts creating distance and you start chasing her, what she sees is not love. She sees desperation and neediness. The biggest mistake men make is believing that more attention is going to fix the distance. But I'm sorry, guys, it won't. When you give attention in response to her absence, you are starting to expose your weakness. And showing weakness lowers your value. And when you lower your value, you kill the attraction. When a woman pulls away, the strongest move any man can make is this. You simply don't make a move. You simply don't give a fuck. Because a man with self-respect does not beg for access to somebody else's attention, ever. If somebody wants distance, you give them more of that distance. You disappear, because your life should never revolve around whether one woman chooses you or not, and vice versa. There are billions of women on the planet. You do not collapse over one person pulling away, ever. So know your worth.
And that shift is creating a strange moment where some people are starting to realize that when men said they might eventually walk away, they weren't bluffing. Because once someone discovers a life that feels calm and fulfilling on their own terms, convincing them to jump back into chaos becomes a very tough sell.
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.